like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, love, and music.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. This is my review for Teen Mom, Teen Mom Season 7, Episode 11. And I hope everyone is having a great day. Yes, I'm wearing a microphone. People were complaining. Well, not complaining, but it's letting me know that I was low on some videos. They couldn't really hear me. So I ordered a microphone that I will start wearing so that you guys can hopefully hear me better. Put a comment below if I sound higher or I'm louder, if I'm still low, if you really still can't hear me, but just let me know how I sound compared to this video today and the videos of the past. So let's hope that this helps and y'all can all hear me perfectly fine. This episode of Teen Mom, the same people always aggravate me. It's always Farrah and it's always Mackenzie and Ryan, let's be honest, and then Amber. Yeah, and then Amber. Let's just get started. You know, Amber and Andrew are the weirdest couple. And the beginning scene of her asking him to cook food, and they're like talking about food, they're just weird to me. And I don't know what else to say besides that. You know, we find out that Amber has not had a doctor's appointment yet, but she wants to make an appointment. But yeah, they're just weird to me. I don't know what else to say. You know, we see a little scene of them all, because this is around Halloween time. So we see, you know, Amber, Andrew, Leah, Gary, Christina, and Gary and Christina's daughter going like on a haunted hayride. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not a haunted hayride person. I'm not a Halloween person to where I'm like, oh my God, I want to be scared straight or whatever. So I'm like, you know, Amber kept saying how she's scared she's gonna puke. You know, Leah keeps saying how, you know, there is people that's there, it's all fake. I'm like, oh, it was cute to see them all together. I think that was cute. I think that was cool. I like how Gary and Andrew are being around each other just in case him and Amber works out. Who knows what's gonna happen. But yeah, you know, we do see then Amber gets a doctor's appointment. We find out that she is 13 weeks pregnant. We see Gary and Christina talking, and Gary is saying how, you know, she got pregnant so fast. Like, what if the baby is really Matt's baby and it's not Andrew's baby, and she just doesn't know because she got pregnant that quick? You know, he's like, you know, she would have gotten pregnant within the first like couple weeks of them dating. And Christina says, you know, I think there was a break in between the two, and you know, she said that she got pregnant really, really fast. And for me, I'm concerned because I'm like, I'm just not a person who believes in unprotected sex. And the fact that Amber was literally on birth control for so long and she purposely stopped taking it, I'm like, why would you do that with a stranger? You know what I'm saying? You were with Matt for so long, and even if Matt was a crazy, drugged out maniac guy who you're not with anymore, you knew him more than you knew Andrew. So why would you... It took you time to figure out that Matt was not who you thought he was. So why would the next relationship you get into, you get pregnant within like a month of knowing a guy? That's just the stupidest shit. And I just wonder if Amber is just batshit crazy sometimes. And, you know, Gary said, you know, she got pregnant within the honeymoon phase, which just means everyone knows, I said this before, the first 3 months of a relationship is like a figment of your imagination, because everything seems wonderful, beautiful. The first 3 to 6 months is like that. Everything is great. You love that person, and they don't really on your nerve. That 6 month, 1 week part is where the realness starts to happen. So yeah, he's meaning that Amber got pregnant in the beginning, like when you're still lollipops and rainbows and goddamn Twizzlers and Starbursts. You know what I'm saying? She got pregnant by a man who in her eyes is still a goddamn pink Starburst, but she might not know he really a yellow Starburst, and don't nobody like yellow Starbursts. No one, okay? But she don't know that yet because she's still at the beginning of the pack, okay? So sometimes I just go off and it's crazy. So yeah, she's 13 weeks pregnant or whatever, and her and Andrew already beefing. And I don't even say beefing. This is his first child. It's her second child. However, Amber talking as if she's a goddamn expert, as if she raised Leah from birth, as if she was just not completely out of her mind when she was younger, and like Gary didn't help a lot. And I feel like Andrew, because it's his first child, he just has all these ideas of what he wants to do. He wants, like, maybe we can do a natural childbirth. Let's not find out the gender. We can get gender neutral clothes. We can paint the nursery a gender neutral color. Like, he just has these ideas because he's like a hippie, Miami Beach flip flops, walking barefoot in the sand type, free spirit type of guy. And Amber's the complete opposite. You know, Amber's, sometimes she's a mess. And sometimes she has to have a lot of structure to feel like her life isn't a mess. But sometimes the structure is still messy. And so when he's having these just normal suggestions, she's like, that's pissing me off. It's just so dumb. I'm not having natural childbirth. You know, I don't want to wait to find out what it is. I want to know immediately what it is I can trying to plan for. You know, I never had a boy. I'm like, but no matter if it's a boy or a girl, you have to buy the same amount of clothes. There's nothing that you would need to buy for a boy versus a girl. You still need diapers, formula, clothes. You know, the only thing that changes is the color of the clothes that you buy. You can't buy pink if it's a boy, but you can buy blue if it's a girl, because girls wear all colors. So I'm like, she's tripping for nothing. And, you know, I just felt like she was totally disregarding his thoughts as the father. But at the end of the day, that's what happens when you get pregnant by a stranger. That's what happens when you impregnate a stranger. Y'all sometimes, because y'all haven't had a conversation about what you want to do, what kind of birthday you want. Y'all haven't had these conversations, so y'all both want two different things, and y'all gonna continue to butt heads. And you know, she was getting mad at him as if the things he was suggesting was crazy. People have natural childbirth. People don't find out what they're having the minute they're able to. Some people wait until the baby is born. And I don't think he was saying like, let's wait until the baby's born. I think what he was saying was, we just don't have to find out at 14 weeks. That's because that's 3.5 months. So we don't have to find out right now. Let's maybe wait till you're like 6 months. Let's wait until you're 5 months. I mean, he just did, because she just kept disregarding what he was trying to say, and it was just getting on my nerve. And you know, she was saying how, you know, it's my body, I do what I want, you know, it's my baby, and you know, this is what I want to do. But I feel like you can't say that, because you're both parents, and if you want to really be in a relationship, you can't completely disregard what he's saying. Because I don't think he was ignoring what she wanted. He was just saying, hey, maybe we can wait a little while to find out what we're having, you know, and then buy gender neutral clothes. Because when she's saying, well, I want to know what we're having because I want to buy clothes, and he said, we can wait a little bit and then buy gender neutral clothes, so that way, no matter what we're having, the baby can still wear. You know, you get like yellow, gray clothes, you know what I'm saying? You get gender neutral clothes or whatever. And she kind of just didn't want to do that. But I felt like she was ignoring him more than he was disregarding her, because he wasn't like shooting down her ideas. It was just like, I just don't want to know right now. But again, that's what happens when you date a stranger and fuck a stranger and get pregnant by a stranger. And that was their whole thing. So yeah, Farrah and her mom. I'm not gonna spend that much time on Farrah for a couple reasons. Fuck Farrah. Fuck Farrah's red hair. Fuck her weird face. Fuck her weird life. Fuck Farrah. Farrah aggravates my nerves because, again, Farrah is on this show. She can't shoot with anyone besides her mother and her father. You know, she does not have any friends that she hangs out with. I feel like she has her mother on the show to fuss with, and she has her dad on the show to talk to about her mother. And that's strictly it. And I think Farrah loves the fact that her mother is married to someone she doesn't like, because for Farrah, that's her storyline. I'm completely over Farrah. You know, we basically just see how she's saying how Jenelle reached out to her to say Barb invited her ex-husband, Cortland, to her wedding. I have no idea why Barb invited Cortland. I really don't. I do think it's weird as fuck. I do think it's completely strange. However, Barb at times is batshit crazy. Not Barb. God damn it. Deb. got confused. Deb at times is batshit crazy. And I don't mean batshit crazy as in she's loony. I mean, she just does things completely different. And I think she's inviting they said that how she's inviting fans to the wedding. I don't think she's trying to have an intimate, family only, private ceremony. I think she's trying to have a big circus, but it's her circus and she wants it. So I think she's inviting anyone who wants to come. I still don't know why she's inviting Cortland. I don't even know how Cortland would know Deb, because Jenelle and Farrah do 2 different seasons of Teen Mom. You know what I'm saying? I'm confused, and I don't know. It's just, it's the weirdest shit. But I think the fact that Farrah is concerned with who's invited to her mother's wedding and she ain't going is stupid. She's doing it because she has nothing else to talk about. So she's bitching on her mom. Why you're inviting him? That's so dumb. He's a criminal, and you don't care about the safety of anyone at the wedding. Farrah, again, fuck you, fuck your face, fuck your hair, fuck your weirdness. I don't care. Deb defending how people make decisions, they make choices, they change, they grow, and you can't judge anyone based on their past. I completely agree. Simply because at one point, Farrah at the beginning of 16 and pregnant was a sad little girl whose baby's father had died. She was still a bitch, but she was not as bad as she is. And she has completely changed from that little girl to a porn star to a fucking monster. And so it clearly shows us people can change. And again, I don't think because a person had a criminal history in the past, they are that same person now. Jenelle and Cortland were together a while ago, because Jenelle looks like a kid still when her and Cortland was together. Who cares? And my thing is, I'm pretty sure her and Cortland have not been together in a while too. So you can't say who that man is now because you don't know him. And my thing is, I thought Jenelle didn't like Farrah. I mean, the shit just, look. Farrah and her mom on the phone. Farrah is basically yelling at her mother. And I don't care about it because I think Farrah's rude as fuck. She then talks to her dad, saying how her mom is stupid. Her mom doesn't care. Dad is also wondering, why is she inviting him to the wedding? That is crazy. But my thing is, again, who cares? Because none of y'all are going. If she wanted to have motherfucking Jacques Cousteau at the wedding, why do you care? You're not going. If she was going to have Trump, Hitler at the wedding, who cares? Because you're not going. If she wants to have motherfucking dolphins, giraffes, and sea bass fish at the damn wedding, sitting in the front seat, who gives a flying fuck when you're not going to the wedding? And you weren't going to the wedding regardless of who her guests were. You ain't going to the wedding because you don't like her fiance. So shut the fuck up. We don't care. Farrah's a bitch, point blank, period. Kate and Tyler. I feel horrible for Tyler based on this particular episode. We see how, Kate and Tyler are basically telling her whole family how she's pregnant. They tell her mom, her brother. Her mom is crying and so upset. Well, not upset. Her mom is crying and happy that she's pregnant. They're hoping for a boy because they already have, a girl, two girls. And so they're hoping for a boy. Someone told me that she actually had a miscarriage and that's why she had her issues and was going back and forth for treatment. I don't know if that's true or not. I have not looked into it. I'm kind of following the episodes as they go along. If she did, I think that's so sad. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to see how it plays out or whatever. We see Tyler talking to his dad about going to rehab. And, his dad is saying like, well, I don't know. Yeah, I do want to go. But, I'm also worried about your sister and her kids. And, I'm like, well, okay, it's this. When he said it, Tyler said, well, yeah, I get it, but, you have to worry about you too. And I said, well, is the sister on drugs? Or is she in an abusive relationship? I was like, what's wrong with the sister that Butch is? Because my thing is, if your father's a crackhead, because he's a crackhead. I think he's smoking crack. If your father's on crack, on drugs, on cocaine, and even with his demons and his addiction, he's worried about someone else. I'm like, how bad is that situation that where he's concerned for her? So I'm like, what's going on with the sister? So Tyler like, you know what, whenever you're ready to go to rehab, just call the people, talk to them, and let me know. So we see them they tell Butch Kate's pregnant, and he's of course happy. And then he says how he did call them the rehab, whatever. The rehab is in, I think, Austin, Texas. And, they are here in Michigan. And he says, it's like a 90-day program. After the first 90 days, it's another 90-day sober living or whatever. It's, big ranch. Everyone there are former addicts. Like, everyone's a former addict working to get better. And it's supposedly like a really good program. He's like, but I told him, that my son was paying for it. So, that you'll kind of take it from there. So we did see Tyler. I'm sorry. I hope you guys didn't hear me burp because of the microphone. So no, before that, he brings up how the reason he thinks it's a good facility is because it doesn't just focus on his drug addiction. It focuses also on his mental health issues, emotional traumas when he was younger. And people don't get sometimes emotional and mental issues from your childhood, from your teenage years, from your earlier adulthood can really cause people to have issues and can really cause them to be addicted to things. And you don't get that it's not only the drug, it's also something within them and the mechanism of their brain and their way of thinking that makes them continue to be an addict. And because it's like if your car not working and you fix the brakes but you don't fix the gear shaft, your car still won't work. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to cut it on and you might be able to drive and you might be able to stop, but you can't shift the car. So like if you need to reverse, you can't go reverse because the gear shift doesn't work. So you fix one thing, but there's still an issue with the car. So that's how people need to realize how addiction works. If you can't fix one thing when there's also other things wrong that's making that person not work. And I know that from being with people who was addicted to alcohol, working in the mental health industry that's where I'm currently doing things now, whatever. And so I've seen things firsthand to get what Butch was saying. So, I'm just saying that. So we see Tyler talk to the rehab facility and they say, for the 6 months it's $4,800. He's like, or it was like whatever amount for monthly or whatever. And he was like, okay, so it's like basically 50 grand. And that's a lot, even though they make, I think, good money. Let's be honest, they make good money. I think 50 grand to spend on someone going to rehab who's never stayed clean is hard to digest. And, Tyler's asked, like, well, okay, what is your price standard? Like, is there other places? And the guy said, look, you have some places that are free. You have some places that cost $100,000. He's like, so it just depends on what the program is. He said, we try to work with men who have been in rehab before and it hasn't worked, and we try to help them. He's like, that's what we do. And that's completely true. Every different rehab doesn't work for every person. One person who may only need 30 days, but a person who needs like 6 months is two different programs that they need. So you have to really get what's geared to them. You can go to a brake shop and get you a new engine. That ain't what they do. You know what I'm saying? They might work on cars, but they work on brakes. Your engine fucked up. Okay? If you go to the brake shop and get your engine fixed, it ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna. I don't know why I use all these car analogies, and I'm not good with cars at all. But so he talked with Kate, and he's still like, it's a lot of money to to deal with it. I don't know, but I don't want to. He said, what I loved what he said was, I don't want to take our money and spend it on my dad going to rehab. And even though they are married and that's his dad and it's also her father-in-law, that's the decision they had to make as a married couple. And I like how he went to her and said, I don't want to make this decision on my own about our money because it's my dad. I love that. And I love how Kate said to him, if it was my mom, we would do it. You know, I completely get it because it's your parent. You know, she's like, and it's a lot of money. It really is, but you know, he needs it. And then Tyler whole thing was, but what if, if I give it to him? What if he doesn't, complete it? What if he doesn't get it clean? We didn't waste this money for nothing. And Kate said something that was okay. She said, it's just money. When you die, you can't take it with you. I think that made absolute sense, simply because I don't think Tyler being cheap at all. I think his thing is, I don't know if my dad is going to get sober. And do we waste money and take money out of our household to help this grown person who I've already tried to help time after time after time, and he's never did it right? Like, should I take this leap of faith? They bring up how, he has been clean, like this within it was just last year, how he was clean, sober, working and stuff. And now a year later, he's completely engulfed in his addiction. And so, but it has to be done. So, they agree to go, to the rehab. He goes to their old house where Butch is living with Tyler's sister. And I get what's going on. Tyler's sister's on drugs. She's clearly on drugs. She has 2 kids. It's like a girl and a boy who we saw there. The kids come out and give him a hug. Tyler did not want to go in the house. He sat in his car initially. And, his niece and his nephew come and give him hugs. He ends up having to go in to get Butch. But his sister, you can see she's on drugs. You can see she looks like things are going on in her life. And she's talking about how they don't have any lights and gas, how because Butch is leaving, she had to switch stuff from his name to her name. They charged her $5. And Tyler's like, oh, okay. Yeah, and you can tell he's completely uncomfortable because his sister's not in a good state. But I'm pretty sure he's probably tried to help her before and it didn't work because he just seems so disconnected from it. And sometimes when someone disconnects like that, it's because I did all I could do and it ain't work. So now I can't get drawn into the bullshit of it. You know what I'm saying? In the house, Butch walking around with a candle because ain't no lights on. And I'm like, it's cold. It's because it's not the summertime. It doesn't seem like it. It just seems like it's cold and rainy or whatever. And, it was just a sad thing. When he go in the house to get Butch and Butch isn't really fully packed, and he's saying how, I hate coming in this house just with the chaos of it, because you have 2 addicts. Or 2 kids. It's just so much going on, and you can tell Tyler just wants to get out the house. He just wants to leave the house and be done with it. And this is his and Kate's old house. So you've given this house to your sibling and your dad, and they're 2 addicts in the house together. I'm like, I felt so bad for Tyler just seeing what he came from. You know what I'm saying? That's his dad and his sister. So for him to be as functional and as of a good person as he is kind of a miracle. He could have went down the wrong path. Yeah, he had a kid early. Yes, he had some temper problems, some just insecurity, some what is it? Wait, not. He wasn't sympathetic sometimes to different things, but I think him being stable, being a husband, being a father, being clean, even though we clearly know that he has emotional issues and probably mental issues from his childhood, he's still a functioning human being. I'm like, I felt so bad for him. Just I'm like, how can you, because they're young, they're in their 20s, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But I'm getting all off. Anyway, back at the house, Butch is getting nervous about going to rehab, and he's like crying, saying, it's just so hard, I don't want to leave your sister, because she's going through things, and, I help take care of the kids. And Kate and Tyler both said, look, she's an adult, those are her kids, she has to take care of her own kids. You can't put your sobriety on hold to help her. She need to get her shit together. And when he say, sometimes they don't have food, he like, so I'll go without so that they can eat. He like, I'm just scared. I'm like, God damn, is that bad? Cause Butch, I just felt horrible, and I'm just like, okay, that shit's crazy. Okay, it's just fucking crazy. So that's how their part of it goes off with him Just saying how, it's just hard for him to be able to fully let go and leave and not feel like he's abandoning his daughter and her kids because his daughter is in a really bad state right now. But hell, in order to get her together, you need to get you together. So, we see that. Macy and them. I'm not going to spend too much time on this either because it's already about 25 minutes into it and I don't want to be over 30. Macy is getting things together for Halloween. And, she invites Jen and Larry to come trick-or-treating with them. We've seen this happen a couple times. They would be going trick-or-treating, Jen and Larry come, so Ryan is supposed to come. Ryan would always show up late or would not show up at all. So this particular time, she invited Jen and Larry and said that Mackenzie and Ryan are free to come. They're going to go at like 5 o'clock and that's it or whatever. So, cool. The next thing we see, Ryan and Mackenzie. No, we see we see Macy call Jen and say, hey, we're running late, we're gonna be a little bit late, but I'm gonna call you when I'm close. Cool. Jen then calls Ryan because of course Macy and Ryan don't talk. When Jen calls Ryan to let Ryan know, hey, Macy said that she's running late, instead of 5 it's gonna be 6. Ryan and Mackenzie motherfucking ass got upset as if they gave Macy their schedule and she purposely tried to fuck them over. My thing is, Mackenzie, fuck you. Fuck your ex-husband and your baby daddy. Ryan, fuck you too. Simply because y'all consistently blame Macy for shit that has nothing to do with anything that's going on. Macy's concern is Bentley. Point blank, period. She fucking invited y'all to come. The fact that she said, we're going to go at 5. Who plans to only be with their kids trick-or-treating for an hour? So when she pushed it back till 6, to say, well, we have to leave at 6 to get my son with his daddy. So you couldn't call your son daddy and say, hey, can we push it back a little bit? 'Cause you couldn't do anything. Like, you just said the same way y'all had a schedule and his daddy wanted something to be done. Macy had her own schedule, but she has her own children and she had to do what she had to do. But she let y'all know we running late. And my thing is, to go trick-or-treating at 5 or 6 is still early. It ain't like she pushed it back 2, 3, 4 hours. And Ryan, let's not act as if your ass has not consistently missed trick-or-treating with Bentley for the past couple of Halloweens. So fuck you and the high horse that you rode in on from rehab because you pissing me the fuck off. And Mackenzie, fuck you too because your goddamn high horse, I don't know where the fuck it came from, but you consistently are just such a bitch. And you help Ryan be such an asshole. And it's like, I just can't wait for reality to smack you both in the face in some form or way. I mean, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. And then, they just decide we just gonna trick or treat with Mackenzie's son. So the next thing we see is Jen and Larry walking behind Ryan and Mackenzie and the kid, and Jen's pissed. Jen don't get pissed often. We don't see Jen pissed off too often, and Jen was pissed. And what else did we see? No, it was a little side scene where the producers was asking Mackenzie, about how Macy doesn't contact Ryan, she contacts Jen, and she was saying, well, love him or hate him, Ryan is Billy's father, and they have to talk. Mackenzie, again, fuck you, because we have seen how Ryan isn't an active father. He isn't. So this is what happens. When someone isn't an active father, the mother takes the role that says, you know what? I'm not going to play these games. If you want to be around, you can be around. But other than that, I'm not communicating with you. I'm going to communicate who's consistent in Bentley's life, and that's your parents. So that's who I'm going to talk to because they're the ones who are consistent and reliable. So Mackenzie, again, fuck you. So from there, when Ryan is making it seem as if, oh my God, I can't believe this makes you so wrong, and we have to leave, I can't stay past 6, because he's talking to Jen, so, my ride leaves at 6, I can't stay. You can't catch an Uber, you can't ride with your mom and your daddy. My thing is, why is it you acting as if you're not riding with Mackenzie, you can't do anything else? My thing is, if my son is running late and you need to take your son to his father, okay, take your son to his father. You go right off to the goddamn sunset, take him to his father, and then come back and get me. And then I will take that time with my son. The reason Ryan didn't do that is because Ryan isn't a good father. If Ryan was a good father, he would have found a way to say, we're going to be with your son for this hour. They can't hang out together, but I can be with my son. That's what a real father does. But that ain't what Ryan did. And not only that's not what Ryan did, that's not what Mackenzie suggested. A true wife would have said, you know what, baby? Okay, let's trick or treat with my son right now. Okay, we'll do that. And because they're running late, it sucks. But, you stay here. I'll go take him to his dad's. Spend time with Bentley, because you need to see Bentley, and then I'll come back. Or can your parents drop you back off? That would have been the conversation. The conversation should have never been Macy this and Macy that, and I can't believe that, and she just fucked it up on purpose, and she knew. No, shut the fuck up. No, okay, not at all. And when Jen said, I'm pissed off, I'm not happy about this. I'm pissed at the both of them. And she was talking about Ryan and Mackenzie, because they was pitching the bitch because it was a little bit late. And my thing is, y'all come 1 year and you want to act like you goddamn highfalutin, high and mighty. Oh my God, we always here. Y'all, no. That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. And then when Macy and them did get there, Ryan left. And as you can tell, Billy didn't even want to hug his own father. Billy was just kind of over it. He looked sad too, but I think he's used to his father disappearing. He's used to his father not being around. He's used to his father not being a father. Let's call a spade a spade. And we see how Macy and Taylor kind of have a conversation and talk how, they didn't know that Ryan had to leave at 6, mainly because they don't talk to him. They talk to Jen and Larry. And that's what it is. I don't feel bad for that. I don't. Because we all know trick-or-treating happens. The kid don't get changed. Or they spill something on their clothes. Or something doesn't go right. You might not leave out on time. My thing is, Ryan and Mackenzie didn't try to make anything else happen besides we have to get her son to his dad. That's their only concern was. And they're trying to make it seem as if Macy was just oh my gosh, she's just so horrible. Y'all get on my goddamn nerve. And then even when Ryan and Mackenzie was talking later, and Ryan's like, oh, she did it on purpose. She always plays the victim. She's only hurting Bentley. You are talking about yourself. You are hurting Bentley. You play the victim all the time. I feel like you purposely said we have to leave at 6. My thing is, it was an easy fix. Again, you could have let Mackenzie go drop her son off. Let's be honest. And, Ryan then said, I know he has siblings there, but he has siblings here too. No, he doesn't. That's not nice. I'm not going to say that. But, Macy's job is not to make sure Bentley hangs out with punk ass Mackenzie's son. That ain't Macy's job. It isn't. And my thing is, fuck Mackenzie. Okay? I don't like Mackenzie. So I just don't care. And, saying how, she changes plans at the last minute. And she can do that because she's always consistent. So if things happen, she's allowed to fucking do that. Just shut the... Talking about her, she got her head stuck up her ass. Ryan... Fuck you guys. I'm going to bed. So that is my review of Teen Mom. I hope you guys enjoyed. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Peace.